I think most of us, when we think of big tech corporation, we do think Microsoft. We also think Google, but Microsoft is sort of that stereotypical Silicon Valley behemoth that's not like cool like Steve Jobs' Apple. It's this self-perpetuating monster that eats other companies alive and then says that they invented the technology that they bought.
Illegally incorporating Stack's innovation into one of Microsoft's many products.
Well, the jury decided that we were right, that Microsoft was using our technology in their product.
And Microsoft, of course, wasn't the first, but it was sort of a first of a kind, of a software-based company that acted in this predatory manner. Now, if we zoom back towards the end of Bill Gates' tenure as CEO, when Microsoft was being called a monopoly and going through massive court battles, as Steve Ballmer would step into that CEO role, and Bill Gates would slowly go back into the shadows as he would start the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and try to fix his image to the public, while debatably pulling more Microsoft strings than the public at least knew at the time. I think that time period was a shifting point. It was answering the question if what Microsoft was doing was okay. And though they got a bit of a slap on the wrist and a bit of bad publicity when it came to the public, because of their market share, because they had already taken over most of the industry, it showed that you could go ahead and act in those predatory ways, grow a somewhat of a monopoly, and get away with it in the end, paving the way for Google and Meta and many other tech companies that came after, or were there but then would become more predatory after. Now, obviously, I'm sort of connecting dots, but I mean, Silicon Valley is a pretty small place, and I think these guys all watch each other. Now, of course, there is no one big answer for any of life's dilemmas, but when we look at the predatory nature of the tech industry today, we can look back on the Microsoft antitrust lawsuit as one of the starting points, as a preview of things to come. The fact they were originally going to be broken up, but came back and won the appeals. Microsoft still being together today, still growing, still investing, arguably doing all the same things that got them in trouble in the first place. Of course, Google got bigger, Apple got bigger, Meta got bigger, but many of these guys also invested in each other. And for all the corporate mayhem that's above my pay grade, as they say, we can take a look back to the 90s and early thousands and see those seeds being planted, and see those companies learning from each other, pushing and prodding governments around the world, societies around the world, the people of the world, to see where their lines were, to see what they could get away with. And those lessons have taught them how to act today.
He was a real laid-back kind of guy, a real nice guy, a real gentleman. Always was a real gentleman. I think Bill Gates would be described pretty much as the antithesis of that. I mean, he's always sort of arrogant, always hard to get along with, always sort of a know-it-all, even when he was wrong.
Gary Clow runs Stack, which sued Microsoft this past year.
I hear and I see his view of the future, and frankly, it scares me. I don't want a future in which one company controls all of our choices.
Meet him first with a pie in the face.
So one of the problems with the Microsoft suit is that it set a precedent. They lost, they came back, they won the appeals, and they didn't get broken up after all. And one of the main arguments that was so potent for the future of the tech industry was that they argued that technology moves quickly and competitors will emerge from the fog, if you will. I mean, they didn't say it like that, but that's pretty much what they were saying, is that competitors might not be around right now, but they will pop up because technology moves so quickly. They sort of took advantage of these old people running the courts and people not really understanding technology, and all the people at Microsoft and the tech industry at large kind of knowing where it was all going. And in a way, they were kind of right. Like, competitors do emerge. Technology does move fast. But when you're in a market and you have a whole bunch more resources than any other competitors, when competitors do emerge, you are then in the position to suck them up or copy them and continue to do what Microsoft was doing already and would continue to do all the way to this day. If they can't beat them, they suck them up and make them part of them, right? I mean, just look what they did with OpenAI. Like, they don't own OpenAI, but they have a ton of money invested in it. And it becomes more complex than that, but it's sort of the same thing that they did with Apple. Instead of being competitive with Apple, they just invested in Apple. And now if Apple wins, they also win. And the average person, especially at the time, really didn't understand that. And now the entire tech industry, although competing with each other, are also all invested in each other in this crazy bubble that we know as the AI bubble, this crazy mess that we live in today. Now, I think our main problem started before the Microsoft suit. I don't think this was like the main origin story of all the problems that we have in technology, or capitalism for that matter. But I do think that it set a precedent that made it harder to break up bigger companies. And I'm certainly not the only one that thinks that. As a matter of fact, I think that because of the things that I've read and watched, because, you know, like I'm not, other than like using technology to do this kind of stuff, I'm not really in the technology world. I guess we all are now, slowly becoming cyborgs, but I digress. Originally, this video was going to be longer, but I think I made the point. So if you enjoyed it, if you agree with it, if you disagree with it, leave me a comment and like the video. It goes really far in the algorithm. I see so much AI slop. I'm a real boy, so at least there's that. Subscribe for more. I got so many different ideas, I can't make them fast enough, and I am not a media conglomerate. There's just me. Everything you see on screen is me. Maybe someday I'll get 1 million subscribers or whatever, and I'll be able to get some people working. I have hopes and dreams of like running around the US and interviewing a bunch of people in the tech industry, talking about why we've decided to make Terminators real, along with other questions about the dynamics of artificial intelligence, and if there's any way we can skip out that dystopia and move towards a utopia, or like, I don't believe in actual utopia, but you get what I'm saying. Like, fuck Microsoft, and there's so much nuance. There's so much nuance because, believe it or not, Microsoft actually brought a lot of good into the world as well. But there's so much to be angry about right now. We used to have a tech industry that we all like loved and enjoyed, and they brought cool technologies that helped doctors and helped protect lives and helped, you know, everything, right? It like transformed the world in a lot of ways for the better, but also they gained tremendous power. And any one person, any one entity can't handle that power because we are still human, and power corrupts absolute. But maybe we can get past that. I have hopes for a positive future. I figure if anybody survives the next 20 to 40 years, which is, you know, maybe a long shot unless you're a billionaire or something, but if you can, maybe we could live to 1,000. I don't know. That's see, I have so many things I'm thinking about. It gets me sidetracked. In either case, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you in the next live.